Hello to you. This is Relationships at Work. I'm your host, Russell Lolliker, so you're in the right place. This is a raw library episode, going back into the vault, I guess, as Disney would call it, looking at episodes that were really resonating with you, that really were popular. I'm taking a bit of a break right now, just over the next couple of weeks, but I'm not leaving you empty-handed. I'm sharing some of the ones you found most valuable. And this one, I'm glad you did. I'm glad it resonated. I'm glad it hit. There's a few leaders I've heard that have used a phrase around babysitting that I think is kind of problematic. And I think as leaders, we need to shift our mindsets. So I'm going to dig into that, the problem of thinking that way, and what we can do about addressing it. Hold on, and I'll deliver it to you very quickly. Welcome back to Relationships at Work, your leadership guide to building workplace connections and avoiding blind spots. I'm your host, Russell Lolliker, communications leadership expert, a bit of a nerd about it too, with a couple of decades of experience and a whole heap of curiosity on the topic. We're here to make the workplace a better place, and if you're a leader trying to understand and improve your impact on work culture and the employee experience, well, you're in the right place. Welcome back to a mini episode of the show. Quick, valuable bit of information to help your mindset for the week ahead. We took last week off because I was a coughing fit. I don't know if it was COVID, pneumonia, flu. I was not fun to be around. It was a lot of headaches, a lot of coughing, a lot of sitting on the couch watching old West Wing episodes. I'm not saying it was horrible. The sickness was. West Wing's pretty great. But needless to say, I'm back. This week we launched we're back with earlier this week we started with another guest episode, and now we have a mini episode. Newsletters are coming out today and tomorrow. Needless to say, we're here, we've returned, and without further ado, let's get into the topic for this week. Our teams don't need babysitting, they need leadership. I feel like I have to babysit them. That is an actual quote I've heard from an actual person about their actual team. The one they are responsible for and accountable to. I feel like I have to babysit them. And this is what they thought of them. That they had to coddle them, to quote unquote babysit them. This is also something I've heard over the years from many people in leadership positions, leadership responsible roles, more than once. And I get it, leaders aren't perfect. We get frustrated. We have other things going on. We want things to go easy. We're human too, like lots of things, right? But if we come to a point in our leadership journey where we think this of our team, I would really hope that we take this opportunity to look at it as a reflection point. We need these moments of self-reflection. Nothing is going to go perfect forever and ever. We're going to have to take stock. We're going to have to reflect on ourselves, how we approach things. And when we say things like this, I hope this is a huge, a green flag for self-reflection and a red flag that we might have gone off the rails. It's an opportunity to better understand a few things. Like, why is this the way we characterize the relationship we have with our team? Why? Why is this our opinion of people we're in charge of supporting, growing, and motivating? What has happened or hasn't happened that's caused us to put up our hands and think of them as children? Because that's literally what we're saying when we say babysit. Where have we failed them? And what can we do about it? If these babysitting thoughts come across our mind, or how we have thoughts that aren't too far off what we're feeling these days, there are things we can do to get back on track. First, maybe shift the focus to a more coaching and mentoring way of looking at things. As a leader, we can adopt a coaching and mentoring approach, and that helps avoid that push to micromanagement or the need to micromanage. Think of ourselves as guides who help team members develop their skills and confidence, and we can then foster that autonomy with our teams. Because this can help us feel like we're facilitating growth rather than managing every detail. Now, we may need to take some training on coaching techniques, such as asking open-ended questions, active listening, and providing constructive feedback, but it's really worth the effort. Maybe set up some regular one-on-one sessions that focus on what team members have to do for career development rather than just some checkbox task completion. Because if you set up that roadmap of things they have to do to reach their next step in their career, they'll be much more interested in owning that, won't they? Rather than you having to, handhold them through it. Second, why not empower teams through some clear delegation? Clear is a key part of this. Let's delegate effectively by clearly defining roles, responsibilities, and the big one, expectations. This is where a lot of leaders fall down. Expectations are so very much the key. They can look at their job descriptions to find out what their roles and responsibilities are, but a lot of team members don't know what expectations are because us as leaders make assumptions, or we haven't talked to them in a while and things may change and we're not communicating them. It's just good leadership to define expectations. When team members understand what is expected of them, they're more likely to take ownership of their tasks. This reduces the need for us to need to babysit, aka intervene on anything. So why not create things, delegation templates or checklists? As much as I hate checklists as a source of leadership, it could be a guideline. These could be guardrails to help us clarify tasks while setting up deadlines and establishing accountability measures for them and for us. We can follow up with check-ins, and that ensures we're all on the same page. We're all singing from the same song sheet. Trusting our team's abilities and resisting the urge to step in, that's what these templates, that's what these check-ins can help with. And last, fostering a culture of accountability. Accountability seems to be such a reoccurring theme on this show, and the lack of accountability that we inspire, instigate, normalize within organizations. And I think really fostering accountability in this situation is so important. It's such a key part of good relationship culture for us and our teams. So why not work to make it a shared value? When team members hold themselves and each other accountable for their work, we get to step back and focus on our strategic priorities rather than the day-to-day task management. We just have to hold ourselves accountable too as leaders for the success of our teams and their accountability, right? We have a role to play too. So think about implementing regular progress updates, peer reviews, or team-based goal setting. Recognize, reward accountability, operationalize it within the team. This just reinforces positive behavior without requiring constant oversight on our behalf or the feel of needing to. We as leaders are human. We are. Sorry to say, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like that's the expectation, we are human. We get frustrated. We can get to the end of our rope when it comes to conflict or things not going as easily as we'd like. But this is a litmus test. This is where we demonstrate our leadership, not hide from it. So the next time that feeling of needing to babysit hits us, consider what steps we as leaders can take and the opportunities we can embrace to better support that team that we're actually responsible for. And we are done with another mini episode of Relationships at Work, your leadership guide to building workplace connection and avoiding blind spots. Thank you once again for joining me. If you've enjoyed the podcast, whether it's the guest episodes or the mini episodes, I ask, pretty please, if you take a moment to go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and leave a rating review or a comment about its value, about how it's meant to you, how it's been helpful to you, or some feedback. Love all that stuff. It all helps me grow the show. And I couldn't appreciate you more for it. Take care.